Hey everybody, how are you doing tonight? I'm back. I am back, and we got to talk a little bit about the train wreck that happened last week. But Ed held down the fort last week, but luckily I have returned. But as always, I don't do the show alone. We got to say hello to our friend, everybody's favorite uncle, and that is Uncle Ed. Hey Ed.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for coming back after that train wreck of a show that I had last week where nothing was coming out right. It's because I depend so much on Peter. Peter's the guy that's behind the scenes doing all the stuff in the back. So he's basically the producer of the show. So when I had to do it, I realized how much I need Peter Brown.
Yeah, and you did. From what I saw, you did great, though. You know, it's yeah. You got to get used to the controls. Got to get used to the controls. But to make things worse, I decide to kind of invade the show a little bit and probably just screwed it up worse, because then you're like, okay, wait a minute, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I watched it back. No, go ahead.
Did you notice I couldn't put my picture in that frame that was there because I've never done it before where there were like three people at the same time.
Yeah.
So that was an issue for me.
Yeah,
never got to do it. But I played around with Ted going around for a little bit.
And I didn't realize when I was there, I was having it wasn't a great connection anyways. It was a little choppy where I was.
In the beginning.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah. But hey, everybody. Again, I'm back. I'm glad to be back, part of the show and all that, and just being home.
Happy Father's Day, Peter Brown.
I was going to say the same to you, Ed. Stepfather's Day, it's all the same. You're a father regardless. And because, I've had two dads, my natural dad, but then my stepdad, who was probably more of a dad in some ways, because he raised me a lot. So, yeah, hope all the dads had a good time. For me, my wife said, what do you want to do on Father's Day? Well, I was like, we're flying. So, I literally came back from LA this morning, and I said, so what I want to do, so I want to get home, I want to sleep, I want to watch the game, and I want to do my show. That's it. And in between, she got me some food. You're right. And so that for me was the perfect Father's Day. Just kind of let me do my thing.
It sounds like it was very chill, other than the flight.
Yeah. Well, anyways, hey everybody. So if you're in the chat room, make sure you say hello, and we'll welcome you as we go along. But before we go too far and talk about vacations and talk about the main topic of the show and talk about the game if we really have to talk about it, let's first say thank you to Caneswear. And this is where you need to go to get all your Inter Miami gear. And they've got a great selection at the best prices, and that's the most important part. The prices are the best in town. So go to Caneswear, buy your dad a Inter Miami hat, jersey, a ball, whatever. Go spend some money on your dad on Father's Day, even if it's a late Father's Day gift, right? So, Father's Day's almost over, but you can give it to him on Monday. Maybe you didn't see him today, and you can give it to him next time you see him.
Do it.
So
do it.
Yep. Where are we at? And here we go. I'm a little rusty too. And as always, if you want to leave a voicemail, 786-474-4435. We have one voicemail.
All right.
In the queue.
You hear a baby in the background.
Yeah. I wanted to listen to see what she was saying.
Mm-hmm. She wants to come over here, but my daughter's trying to keep her away. But she might break in eventually.
It's fine.
We're trying to keep her away, but it might not happen. Peter, let's say hello to some of the people that are already on. There's a lot of people on. I'm surprised it's a Father's Day, so I thought not many people were gonna hang out with us for a little bit, but they are. Hold on, let me go to the live chat. There was somebody that was on earlier today. That, of course, it deletes. Once we go live, it deletes the people that are in here. But I think it was Baldwin who was in here first. There he is. He had left a message earlier. We got. Of course, one world, one goal. Always supporting us.
Baldwin calling me out, saying the biggest derailment last week was bringing in that dude from California. His audio was blue. Well, I actually need to show you, Ed, how to bring up maybe the audio of your guests so that you can, because that is something you can control to some extent. I mean, you can boost it a little bit, and because I noticed Ted's audio was a little low as well. So there's a setting that next time I see you,
I was running late, and I usually try to get on when I do the show like that. I get on a little bit earlier, but I was running. Basically, we had like 1 minute to go, and boom, we went live. So, and next time you guys get to put it in the chat. His volume's low, and I'll try to fix it. And next, I said 1 world, 1 goal. I don't know if you were able to put her up. 1 world, 1 goal is always following us. That one dude, Eric Thomas, is also on there. Oh, do I have to say this next guy? A new Wiseman. He's probably gonna, gloat
rub it
about
in a little tonight. Congratulating us on our winning of the World Cup bid. Atlanta won a bid too, didn't they? So
they
congratulations right back at you, no?
Right, and for your team winning, fiddlesticks. Yeah. But anyways, Steve Munoz, how you doing, bud? I think I saw that he was going to be in. I don't know. I think I saw a picture of him in the stadium. I don't know. You correct me if I'm wrong. I thought I saw you at the Ronaldinho game. And we also have Matt Z. How you doing, my friend? We also got Judge Dredd the Law, always supporting us, and that's about it for all the people that have signed on to the chat. Go ahead and sign up to the chat. Leave us a comment. Let us direct us to where you guys want to go with the whole conversation, because this is your show, and you guys tell us what to do.
Exactly. All right. Well, we don't normally start off the show with voicemail, but 1 world, 1 goal left a voicemail on a day or 2 ago, and so I figured,
Steve wasn't there. I'm sorry. To interrupt you. Steve Munoz said he wasn't there. I thought I saw a picture of him because he's always on there in the stadium and stuff. So I've seen pictures.
But let's start the show with a voicemail, because I just figured this is. She's talking a little bit about last week's show and stuff like that. So I figured it's a good time to kind of bring in this.
Make fun of Uncle Ed.
I don't know. It's time for your voicemail.
Hello?
Hey, it's Italia, 1 world, 1 goal. Not sure I have good reception here. I've been on the run for like a month. Peter was like totally glamorous. Out there in LA with the shades and, in those beautiful settings. Gosh, it looks so beautiful out there. I think he was in Santa Monica or somewhere, who knows. And meanwhile, Ed and Ted's show was pretty darn good. Although Ted looks like the dude from the Smashing Pumpkins.
He does.
Anywho, the boys are getting back in business. So I'm actually calling you before the game because I'm not in the middle of the ESPN, and I don't know if it's on. I might have to watch it on the radio, like it's the 1940s, because I don't have the proper Wi-Fi cable setups going right at the second. And I'm still running around Miami here. I wanted to mention the game last night looked really, really good. I was excited. They had a big crowd. That's something we need to market, because obviously they had the South American and the international, major stars were there. And El Pibe came back into town. I don't know if any of you guys got to see him. I saw a little bit on social media. And I think they do, both of Roberto Carlos and Ronaldinho are so amazing players. They bring the press. They know how to work the media. This is what Inter Miami needs to do. They need to work the Spanish media and the English media. They need to work the old school, go to the soccer stores, etc. I had gone to Mad About Soccer only to get a keychain, Italian keychain, and a Juventus. Only spent $10 because I would buy everything at Caneswear. Shop at Caneswear.com. Anyway, those people, they didn't even know the stadium passed. They don't even know the team started. They were all wearing Inter Miami shirts too, and they had like no clue, the people that worked there, because the main owner, the Argentine guy, wasn't there. But anyway, if you want to talk soccer and you want to buy soccer gear, go to caneswear.com. Love you guys. Love the show. Bye.
I love that we've pounded everybody with Caneswear so much that now our callers and our viewers, I mean, they know what's up, and they do the commercial.
Yeah.
They do the commercial guys, for us, all right?
And keep supporting Caneswear. Yeah, nice. So see, the show wasn't that bad, Peter Brown. Come on.
No, I thought it was fine. It just you know, I saw right when I jumped into the show. I first just started watching it a little bit while I was at this little cafe in Santa Monica called Earth Cafe. It's this cafe that my daughter found out about, and there's several locations in Los Angeles, at least. I don't know, maybe more outside of Los Angeles. I don't know, but it's like she found out about it because of like social media. Like it's a hot place to go to in social media, and I'll tell you, it's expensive. I mean, I got avocado toast, right? That's small. That's cheap, right? And a dessert, a cheesecake dessert, a cheesecake dessert. My wife got like a salad and like a little dessert, and my daughter got some fancy grilled cheese sandwich, and it was like $80. It's like, but wow. It was a fun experience. And so while I was sitting there eating that, I was watching the show, and it does make me wonder: is Ted the most hated, like, you know, guest host we've ever had? And
that's why I brought him back.
and does he know that? And if he does, which, you know, I would hope he would just play into it more, because I thought it was hilarious.
He's eating it up. He thinks you know, people love him. You know, in his own world, people love him. So, you know, it's because he looks like the guy from the Smashing Pumpkins. So
I mean, that's not up for debate. I mean, he totally looks like that guy.
And he's always talking about how he's rich. Well, he lives. I'm not saying he doesn't say he's rich. He lives in a rich neighborhood,
right?
Coral Gables.
Yeah.
So he's always talking about that, about his pool and all this. But you know, so you know, he might. And he wears Prada sunglasses.
Right. He's a guy that's easy to hate, but yet here you and me, we love the guy. He's awesome. But and right as I tune in, you guys are talking some strange nonsense. So I had to see if I could jump in and derail the show a little bit.
And save the show.
No, not saving it, because I had nothing really to talk about. So, but anyway.
Well, we're going to talk a little geeky stuff a little bit later, because I need to find out if you actually saw something. But I guess let's talk about soccer.
Well, one thing before we go off that little side topic, Baldwin was asking, is California, Peter, cooler than Florida, Peter?
Wait, look how he has those sunglasses.
I think so, yeah,
like
because
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, everywhere I'm going, I'm wearing shades there. I had a question, and this is, and we'll get back to soccer in just a second. This is stupid, but this is a theory I had. It seems to me, and you've been to California, you've lived in California and all that. It seems to me the sun is hotter in California than it is in Florida. I don't know why. It's the same sun, right? I mean, we have the same sun.
It is, but over there it's dry.
But then the reason I say that, it's not the fact that the heat. I can walk around on the sunny streets, you know, in Florida. Like if I have an outdoor day, let's say I'm going to walk down in Miami Beach and just up and down, go to a few restaurants or whatever, walk around the boardwalk or the sidewalk areas and all that. I might get a little pink, right? My skin might get a little pink. That's it. Man, in LA, I got torched. Some of my family photos I have are just so bad because my face is just so red and everything like that. And I was like, wait, but I mean, I live in Florida. I'm used to being in the sun all the time. But yet I come here to California and I just got burnt to a crisp. And I was like, man, the sun is hotter here somehow. It affected me more in California. And I don't know why. And Ed is frozen. But we'll continue. And Eric is saying, please talk soccer. So we will do that. One thing that one world, one goal, and we're just going to leave it here until and see if Ed unfreezes. But one thing she mentioned was the old players reunion show or whatever game. that was at Drive Pink. I saw some pictures of it, and it looked like it might have been a larger crowd for that charity match or whatever kind of match it is than it has been for recent Inter Miami games. That's ridiculous. I had no real interest in going to it. I know that a lot of people do. They want to see the old stars, but I mean, there's just this bunch of old guys that, used to be good, and so I'm just not all that interested in seeing it. And I mean, great players, I know that, but I just didn't see. I personally just didn't have a desire to go. And luckily, I was out. It wasn't even an option because I was out of town, but. But it was good to see the fact that it's good to see that kind of an event in South Florida, and it looked like it was very well attended. Ed is saying the internet went out. So there you go. Anu says that Legends game was pretty fun, though. Was it broadcast anywhere? Was the Legends game on the internet or on TV or anything? I don't. Let's see if Ed can come back in. Bringing him back. And let's see. Welcome back, Ed.
Baby ran into the internet.
She kicked the wire.
Yep, and I as soon as I heard something go, haywire, and then I realized I was not connected anymore. So
there you go.
I connected it again, and here we are.
Absolutely. So Jet Pancake, I was talking about how I don't really see. I didn't care to. I have no real interest in going to see the old player game that was played. Jet Pancake says, I don't think it was ridiculous. It was a great opportunity for people to see the players they watched growing up and watch now all in person. I'm not saying it's ridiculous. I'm just saying it's not for me, I think. But it's fine.
Yeah, I didn't go, Peter, because it's kind of, it's farther for me.
Right.
And I'm kind of invested on Inter Miami, so I didn't get to go this time. Had they been closer, I think I would have gone.
Yeah.
Because, these are the players that we grew up with, and more than anything. But there were some players that are actually, they're on vacation, so they actually played. Pogba was one of the guys there. There were a couple of Argentinian players also there. I can't remember the names, but there were some people that are still playing that are actually pretty good. So I don't even know what the score was, man. It wasn't televised.
I do, because Chris Arjun is here to tell us. Final score was 12-10. Carlos's team victorious.
Nice.
I would have liked to have seen Valderrama out there in his Fusion jersey. Not, I don't care what jersey they told him to wear. He should have worn the Fusion jersey. So Ed, the show's getting derailed again because, as always in this show, you could pretty much do that easily if you talk food. Kata asked the question: is In-N-Out worth the hype? And Baldwin says In-N-Out is totally overhyped. So I will say this: for one, I like burgers, so I'm gonna like it probably no matter what. I even hate on McDonald's all you want. I like a Big Mac, but I thought In-N-Out was excellent. I thought it was really, really good. Good enough that we went twice. So I thought it was good. I thought it was very good.
That's what a burger is all about, guys. And, I'm from California. As a matter of fact, when we went to the Austin game with my wife, she's like, look, there's an In-N-Out. I'm like, I don't mind if I do. And we went. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's the best burger in the world if somebody says that. Oh, here's the thing. It was even good enough that my wife decided to go buy a T-shirt for In-N-Out. So in my family, we obviously thought the hype was real, right? It's not gourmet burger. It's not the best burger, but for a fast food burger, it's pretty real. It's pretty good. All right.
It was tasty.
Anyways.
They're tasty.
Yeah. All right. Let's. So I don't think we need to really talk much about today's game. The game was the game. I thought the ref wasn't the greatest.
A lot of people. I got a lot of text messages from people saying, the red card from Moda shouldn't have happened.
I agree. I thought it was soft. But then again, Mata put himself in that position, right? So he got close enough to where the player can make the most of it, and so you could say don't put yourself in that position. But then again, he was playing in a position he wasn't accustomed to. He's not Gregory, and we missed Gregory out there. Campana didn't get.
What happened with Gregory? Do you know?
He apparently has visa issues.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean, who knows how long he's gone to get that fixed? But
I hope he's not gone too long.
All right. So I wanted to transition a little bit to the main topic of the show. People in the chat are asking for it, and we're here for you. But Ed, so you didn't watch the game. Why? What is one of the reasons why you did not watch the game?
I did not have ESPN. Well, I had a barbecue over here.
Well,
Andres, we had a barbecue.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get it on on ESPN, but they charge you for it, and I don't have ESPN, so that was and as I was stumbling through and trying to get the I was going to get ESPN. I realized they scored. So I was like, they're going to lose. So I'm not even going to bother with it. So that's why I didn't get on it. But, that's an issue, man. You have to get an app for ESPN and now we're running into the same situation with Apple. I happen to have Apple's one of the few apps that I do have. So in a way, I'm like, okay, that's cool because there's a couple shows that I'd like to see. Ted Lasso, For All Mankind is another one that I watch, and now MLS is going to be there, so I'm happy because I'm like, I already have that app, so I'm good with it. But again, ESPN I don't have, so it's always a mission for me to try to get it or whatever. And a lot of people are going to be the same way. They're like, oh, dude, there's nothing good on Apple. Why should I, join them up and it's going to be like ESPN or something,
Yeah, and so I have the same problem. I am like a lot of younger people. I'm not that I'm trying to put myself in the younger category, but a lot of the millennials and stuff like that are cord. They don't have cable. They don't. I stopped having cable. I don't know. It could be close to 10 years already. As soon as as soon as streaming services became like a bigger thing, maybe it's less than 10 years, maybe it's 5. I don't remember exactly. It seems like forever. I haven't had cable. So I also don't have ESPN. But so what I ended up having to do to watch the game is I signed up for Sling TV for 1 month just so I could see one game. So I paid $25 just so I can watch one game, basically. And that's not good. Right. So, and I'm already an ESPN Plus subscriber. So you'd think that I've got ESPN Plus that I'd be able to see the ESPN game. But no, they're two different services.
Was it on ESPN Plus?
No, those are two different services, Ed. Yes, you can watch it on the ESPN app, but you have to have a cable subscription. Or a Sling falls in that cable thing. So
category, yeah.
You have to have a subscription to some sort of cable service in order to see ESPN, unless you're going to do like some other people in here said they watched on pirate TV, and I don't like to do that. So not judge anybody else. I just not for me. But
yeah,
so
Peter's very straightforward guy. He's he's very
I'm a rule follower,
Christian, and he just and I'm the same way for the most part. Maybe not as much as Peter, but for the most part, I'm the same way, man. I don't like cheating. I don't like doing things that are not not good, I guess you could say,
right,
or the right thing to do.
Yeah, and like I said,
I'm with you on that, Peter.
I'm not judging anybody else. You do you, and I'll do me.
Basically, Peter's a goody two-shoe.
I am, yeah. But so I had to sign up for ESPN. So now they're moving over to Apple TV, and so I mean, let's just cut right to the chase. This is a $2.5 billion deal. MLS.
Say it again, Peter.
$2.5 billion deal at a minimum. At a minimum, it could go up. There is incentives if the way I understood it, if Apple subscriptions go up more because of this, if it hits a certain number, then it becomes more valuable for MLS. So it's at a minimum of $2.5 billion. MLS was looking for $3 billion, and all the analysts were saying there's no chance MLS is going to hit $3 billion. They were talking maybe 100,000. I mean, they were getting 90,000 a year in their previous package. So
90 million, you mean?
That's what I meant. 90 million. 90 million. Yes.
Okay.
90 million. Put the zero in the wrong place. But so people were thinking that it might go up to like 150 million a year. Not to what it is now, close to 300. I suck at math, but it's 2.5 billion for 10 years.
Just leave it at 2.5 billion. Yeah, let's not complicate our lives.
200.
That's a lot of money.
What is that? 250 million a year. So it seems like there's a lot of misunderstandings too, and my mind is all over the place with this. But a lot of people think, well, goodbye to ESPN, goodbye to Fox, goodbye to Univision, and that's not true either. The way MLS worked this deal is basically Apple has the worldwide streaming rights, but MLS can still
the
worldwide streaming rights. So MLS can still and does plan on brokering deals with ESPN and Univision, maybe Fox. I heard they may not be interested, but they'll pay for a much smaller package. So you will still see some games on ESPN, but if you already have the Apple subscription, you don't have to worry about ESPN because it's not like it is currently. If it's on ESPN, you can't see it anywhere else, right? They have all the rights. Apple's still going to have the rights. And so what these broadcasters may do is they may use the Apple feed and just put their own graphics and audio over the Apple feed. But you'll be able to see all games, no matter, what Matt
and another thing
said.
about ESPN, Peter, one thing I want to ask you, because I know you read that article and everything. ESPN has, within their app, they've got like a different section. Because, like, for example, I asked you earlier, you said you didn't have ESPN, but I was like, I think you said you had ESPN Plus.
I have ESPN Plus. 3? I have ESPN Plus, which is their digital online service. So. And again, this is another cool thing about Apple TV, the blackouts. So I have ESPN Plus, and the reason I pay for that is so that I can watch all the MLS games I want. The problem is I cannot see anything that was on Fox, right? I cannot see any local games because I'm on a blackout. I am blacked out because I'm within the South Florida area. I am blacked out. I cannot watch, and even if the game was not broadcast on ESPN proper, if it was just an ESPN Plus game, I still could not see it because they want you to watch it on the local broadcast or they want you to go to the stadium, right? So I'm blacked out, and that is one of the complaints I hear so much from people online is the blackout dates. Blackouts. I'm in West Palm Beach. I'm blacked out. I shouldn't be blacked out. I'm in Jupiter. I think even I'm blacked out. I'm in Naples. I'm blacked out. Like you're like I'm in Naples. I'm far enough away. I should not be blacked out, but you are.
Right.
Blackout dates will go away with Apple TV. So,
nice.
Yeah. I mean, those are the positives.
I like that.
And so going back to some more of the specifics of the deal, is also that they're gonna have pre-game, post-game shows and all that kind of stuff. So that's good for every game. They're gonna have consistent starting times. So right now, I think we could probably say goodbye to 1 p.m. Sunday afternoon games.
Thank goodness.
Because those are usually your Univision games, 1 or 3 p.m. I think. Sometimes those are ESPN games too. So we can say goodbye to those. They're going to try to keep all games at, like, say, one specific time across the league. So I assume somewhere around Saturdays, 8 p.m. or 7:30, whatever their number is. And they'll also have Wednesday night games, right, on whenever that has to happen. But you're not going to see Tuesday games. You're not going to see that kind of stuff. So as much as possible, a more consistent schedule. There are some asterisks in situations where you may be sharing a stadium, like, baseball stadium up in New York, stuff like that. And they'll also have a whip around show, so like a weekly show showing all the highlights, thoughts, opinions, and stuff like that.
So
Peter overall, Brown, it's good.
Your opinion? Yeah. So your opinion right now is that it's a good thing.
Yeah, and there's more. But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. There's so many different areas I want to go to with it and stuff like that, because there's been a lot of hate too about this, and I actually want to get to that.
That's where I was going.
I do want to get to that as well. Mm-hmm. And I was a little confused at first, but I've read so many different things now. I know, I have a good handle on what's going on. So I think you were asking before, is it another app or something like that? So it's like, imagine when you go into Apple TV. When you go into Apple TV, Prime has the same thing. You go into Prime, they'll have little icons for your HBOs and all that, and Showtimes and your different channels. And you'll click within your Apple TV or within your Prime, you'll click into that other channel. And that other channel is an additional paid service, right? But you're paying for it through Apple TV or through Prime, right? So it's the same concept. Okay, it is an additional
So right now I'm paying for Apple.
Okay.
I'm going to have to pay for the MLS on top of that.
No, you're not. Because you are a season ticket holder. Season ticket holders will not have to pay for this. According to everything I'm reading, will not have to pay for it. And on top of that, you do not have to pay for Apple TV Plus to get this. If you're not a season ticket holder, but you want the MLS game, you can pay for just the MLS app through Apple TV. So, because in other words, you can open Apple TV even if you're not a subscriber. And there's a few free things. They're always going to have a couple of free things just to hook you, right? They're going to have one free episode of like every season just to hook you and hope you pay for it. So you'll be able to open the Apple TV app, and they will have from time to time. I'm not sure if it's a game of the week or anything. I don't know if they've worked out all those details or announced those details, but there will be free games as well. So if you're not a subscriber at all, you can still watch a game here and there. There will be Apple TV Plus subscriber games as well. So if you have Apple TV Plus because you want to watch Ted Lasso, but you haven't subscribed to the MLS package, they'll try to hook you with a free game every once in a while. Right? So Baldwin's saying if you aren't a season ticket holder, then yes, on MLS Plus. I'm assuming he says yes, meaning you'll have to pay. Yeah, and the amount hasn't been worked out yet. Could be $5 a month, could be $10 a month. They haven't announced that.
Okay.
MLS Plus makes up for crappy season ticket holder gift. Well, they might try to sell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think overall it's a good deal. And okay, so if people complain that you got to pay, here's another streaming service I got to pay for. But I mean, that's where it's all going. You could get rid of your cable if you want, or if you. Me personally, I probably will get rid of ESPN Plus. I don't really need it then.
Yeah, that's the way I see it too, man. I mean, I was close to getting it, but just because the goal, but see, you wanted to see the game, so you subscribed to to that channel or whatever. But I almost did the ESPN thing.
Ed, I subscribe to everything. My God, I subscribe to everything because every service, it seems like I don't subscribe to.
Give him the password, Peter. Yeah, give him the password.
That's why I put that up there. No.
I wonder how many people could get the password and use it. That'll be interesting. Next time, next game, Peter Brown will give everybody their password, his password, and we'll see how that works.
So let's answer some questions here. Matt Z is saying, so is it safe to say I need Apple TV Plus and it will be a separate tab per se? Sort of. Why don't Ed? Do you have any thoughts or concerns about it?
Well,
you're buying
the thing that I was thinking about. Okay, got you. The thing with me is I already subscribed to Apple TV, so I'm thinking, if it was also included, had I not been a season ticket holder, is what I'm thinking. Um, you know, if I'm not a season ticket holder, then I have to get another subscription. That's another app, within the app. So that's kind of annoying. I already have the app, and to tell you the truth, Apple TV really doesn't have that much programming.
It
So
it really doesn't.
So I was just like, all right, I thought, that's going to be a compliment to the very few shows and stuff that they have. What they do is they try to promote other movies and stuff like that, from other apps or whatever. I don't know if they're related or whatever, but when I get in there, I'm clicking on it to see if, it's a movie that I could see on Apple TV, and it's usually for somebody else. So I'm like, oh, that's a waste of time. So I just get on the Apple Plus thing and I look for whatever I could find, and and like I said, there's a couple of shows that I watch, so that's kind of cool.
All right.
But yeah, if I have to pay more money for an app that I'm already paying for, that's kind of annoying, because I don't think I was gonna drop Apple TV because I didn't think there was that much things going. But I'll keep it if MLS is included. You know what I'm saying?
That was something I was saying to I don't know, my wife or daughter the other day and I use this analogy to Prime again, because Amazon and Apple are two of the big dogs, right, in the world. I mean,
Right.
those two companies have more money than most, and they both have streaming services, and they both, for the most part, suck, right? They both have a few good things, but not enough, right? I only have Prime because I want the 2-day delivery, right? and so because I want the 2-day delivery, I also get the streaming service. And because there's like 2 or 3 shows I like on there. I like the show Bosch. There was another one called Goliath that I watched. So there's a few good ones. And Apple is the same thing. There's just a couple of good shows. I watched there was Foundation, a sci-fi show that I watched. Ted Lasso Ted Lasso is worth it, but there's not a whole lot on Apple TV. I mean, and they came out saying how they're gonna really change it and bring. So I think they try to be too.
You got to watch for All Mankind. I think it's called.
I watched one episode and I kind of got bored with it.
Good one. Oh no, man! It's like a whole new different. What's it called? As if the NASA wanted to go to Mars after the whole moon thing. It's really cool, dude. So it's like an alternative, what's it called, universe.
Right.
If there would have been these different presidents and stuff like that. So it's really interesting. You should watch. Now, look at me not plugging Apple TV. Apple, you should sponsor us, by the way.
There you go. All right. So I'm trying to open up different things and just see what it looks like in Apple TV. All right, so it looks the same in that as it does here. So let me just share my screen. I'll share my Apple TV real quick here.
Let's do it.
And so this is Apple TV.
Cha-cha.
So, yeah. Is that I don't know what that is. But
I don't know either, man. It's I just saw it the other day. That was yesterday that I went in and was like, Cha-cha, what the hell is that about?
Well, so here's okay, hang on. Let's come back for a second. Oops. I clicked into it.
Oh boy. Now you're trying to get us to subscribe to that.
One thing that is misleading to some people is like, well, I don't like Apple. Does this mean I have to have an Apple phone? I hate Apple. I'm an Android user. Apple is a service, and they're trying to become more of a service company because that's where all the companies want to go. So they put their services on every device. So if you want Apple TV Plus on your Android phone, no problem. I have in my house, I have an Apple TV device, which I watch, Apple TV on. But I also have
the baby's here.
All right, let's pause to look at some babies.
Well, she's not coming. She kind of got scared. She went away.
But
bye, baby.
So I watch it on the Apple TV device in my living room, but in my bedroom, my TV there is a Fire TV. So it's like the Fire software, which is Amazon, and I could download the Apple TV Plus there, which I have. So it's you can watch it on your browser, you could watch it on different TVs, everything. It's available everywhere. So if you hate Apple devices, no problem. I think you're wrong because Apple's products are the best, but that's another show. Anyways,
that would be another show.
Yeah. So here's how I imagine. Now, okay, this is obviously somewhat of a guess, and the way it looks on my TV is a little bit different. But here's Apple TV, and then this is
on the computer. That's
on the computer. This is on my browser, and you see here where it shows Major League Baseball. So I imagine there is going to be something like this. So that there'll either be an icon that shows like an MLS app, or it'll be something like this, a promotional thing like this, where you would click into that, and then you'll see all of your Major League Baseball stuff. So I think it was Baldwin. I don't remember who was asking if it's another tab. It's not technically a tab on there, but it's kind of like it. It's a link basically that'll take you and see. Here's all the base because Apple's gotten into baseball. So here's all the baseball that they have. And so it'll be something similar to this, I think. I mean, it just makes sense.
Is that a separate subscription, or you can get in there and...
No, I can get into all those.
Games?
I can see all these games right here with my Apple subscription. Now, they only give you like 2 games a week. Two Friday night games here. They've got the Cubs versus St. Louis, Detroit versus Arizona. And then July 1st, they have some more games. So, it's like every Friday night, it looks like there's games.
Gotcha.
Right.
So, yeah,
that's their
probably
deal.
A little different.
Well, that's their deal. They didn't buy the whole Major League Baseball package, right? They just they bought some games. So, and this will be interesting too. It's like down here where it says more.
2 down. It's always funny to see the way
I must have clicked on something.
Cross for some of these guys. And that's
right,
one thing that people think.
Cancel that.
Well, yeah, as long as we're talking over it, I think we're good.
Yep.
There we go. La Barra del Inter Miami.
Yeah, and let's not see my chat either.
Well, there we go.
So, anyways, I thought give you
Peter Brown messes up too. I don't feel so bad.
Yeah, no. Give you a brief idea of what it might look like. All right, so there you go.
So that was basically it.
One negative is that here's one negative that's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of local talent out of work or that there's guys that have been broadcasting MLS games for 20 years and they may be out of a job. Now MLS may hire some of them. For example, our Ray Hudson. Now Ray's got a day job.
Yeah.
The Inter Miami is a kind of a part-time thing. He works over at what is it? Is it still BN?
BN Sports.
BN Sports.
I think, yeah,
right?
I think he's still there. But I mean, but he's one of the guys I think they should hire. He could do all the shows. That would be wonderful because he's just he comes up. Imagine that, man. He could be covering all these games. He can't cover every game because there's a lot of games that are going on at the same time. So how's that going to work? They're going to have their own people.
So it sounds like they're going to hire
for Apple TV.
Yeah, they're going to have, from what I understand, like 2 people teams. Like so, you're not going to probably have field reporters, and I'm not sure yet if they're going to be on location or if they're doing it from a studio. They haven't talked about that. I assume. But they said that the word is 10 to 14 different crews. So you'll have talent like 10 to 14 different teams. So similar to what they do with, say, the NFL. So you have the same people over and over again, and the broadcasters may be different from week to week doing Inter Miami games. Maybe they keep them the same. If they hire somebody in Miami, like in the big, maybe they hire some people that handle certain regions and stuff like that. They bounce around a little bit in the South or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they'll have multiple people. Jet Pancake is saying that Ray left BN Sports. Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, wow.
Baldwin is saying Ray works for Sirius XM. Well, I know Ray for years.
Okay, yeah.
For years, Ray had a Sirius radio show. So I guess maybe that. But I mean, look, he's at the end of his career. I mean, if he wants to retire, it's time. So I don't know if he wants to keep doing this. Anyways,
well, he could probably still do the radio thing, but yeah, I think Apple TV should definitely hire him. He could not just do Inter Miami games. He could do other games, and he'd still be incredibly entertaining for for a while. I mean, if it's a 10-year deal, he might. It'll take him into his retirement.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm curious. Well, I haven't while I've been talking. I haven't really been looking at the chat. So if you guys have any thoughts and opinions, positive or negative, about this deal on Apple TV Plus, put them in the chats now, and so we can read some of those.
A news saying he wouldn't mind. A news saying he wouldn't mind Ray Hudson calling the Atlanta United games.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, so one of the complaints that I've heard people say is this is going to hurt the growth of MLS. So that's value. I mean, that's a good argument, right? Because now the only way you're going to watch MLS is if you're looking for it. Or if you're already an Apple TV subscriber, you might get those game of the weeks, right? And so it may suck you in that way. But you're not going to get the guy that's just flipping the channels and happen to find the local broadcast or the ESPN broadcast. You're not going to get those. And so that's going to damage the growth of MLS. That's the argument. And
well, you think about it a little bit, Peter, before let me interrupt you and hold on to that thought. It's kind of a sign of the times, everybody's going with these apps now. All the people that are coming up, all the, kids that are growing up, they're used to this stuff. So for them, it's, and they're the future of this game.
Right.
So I think the only ones that are going to stay behind are us old people that we're not used to technology.
Right.
And we might just be like, oh man, we're complaining. But the kids are probably like, yeah, whatever. I want to watch my soccer.
That's how they know. I mean, you're going to have younger generations that don't. Like, I talked to my daughter, and now she knows what cable is. She's old enough. She's 17. She's old enough to remember we had cable at one time. But she doesn't understand appointment TV, right? Anybody our age, 30 years or older at least, knows what appointment TV is. Meaning Thursday night, you had to watch. I know this is a bad show to mention, but it was a big deal. Is you had to watch the Cosby Show on Thursday nights, right? And if you missed it, you missed it. We didn't have DVRs. We had VCRs at this point, but who's sitting there recording every show on a VCR tape, right? But it was appointment TV.
Yeah, back then.
Even some of those big shows. I remember like some of the more like the shows like Melrose Place that a lot of women would like and stuff like that, and guys would never admit to liking, but then they watched it, right? And now I remember they would have bars that would show the TV show, and people would come in. It was appointment TV. Well, my daughter doesn't even know what that is because she's lived in a world where it's on demand. And so this younger generation now is not even going to realize what a cable world looks like. It's
funny because yesterday, as a matter of fact, we were flicking through channels with my wife, and she was like, "Oh, because I was showing her, we got a new TV, so I was showing her everything that all the channels that were there or whatever." And she's like, "There were a few channels where it's basically also like appointment TV." And she's like, "But I want to watch it from the beginning because I put it in the middle of I don't remember what movie it was. It was I think it was Independence Day or something." So I click on it, and it was already in the middle of the movie. And she's like, "Oh, but I want to watch from the beginning." I'm like, so I tried. I'm like, "Well, you can't do that because it's kind of like, you have to wait for the next one or whatever." And she's like, "Well, that sucks. Nowadays, I might as well just go rent the movie or something, or, go on a streaming service and get the movie, because that way I could watch it from the beginning or whatever." So I know what you're talking about, Peter Brown.
So yeah, so that's the future, and and here's what I do like about streaming services. Now I know a lot of us cut our cable because we thought we were saving money, and then we start subscribing to everything, and you're not saving money. But at least I have
more.
I maybe, but at least I have more control. So, for example, I have Hulu, and at times there's nothing to watch on it, and So I'll turn it off I'll unsubscribe for like 2 months. And then if something pops up on there that I want to see again, I'll resubscribe. You just reactivate your account. So it's like you're paying for it when you want it. And so you can do that with a lot of streaming services. So that's why I'm a big fan of it. Like I said, I signed up for Sling today just so I could watch ESPN. Now, I didn't want to. But I mean, I know that, okay, fine, I had to pay for it. I'll take advantage of it. I'll watch all the channels that they have for a month. And then I'll turn it off. I'm gotten pretty good at it. Like I set a reminder on my phone to, if it's going to start charging me again in 30 days, I set a reminder for 25 days. So I shut it off a few days in advance so I don't get charged because I don't want to.
Just in case.
I just not messing around, right? So you just got to get good at it. But so a couple of thoughts that were in here. Question from Michael Hodgins. Do you think the $2.5 billion deal will lead to higher salary caps? Yes. Not as much as you might think. And I think somebody else in the chat room kind of did the math, saying it comes out to about $8 million a year. Barely moves a needle. And it's maybe even less than that. Because something I didn't mention is that MLS is paying for and doing the entire broadcast. So filming these games the bill is being paid for by MLS. So that $2.5 billion that they got is not all money in their pocket. They've got to turn around and they have to now create a new division of MLS with production studios and production teams. They are going to be doing the job that ESPN did, right? Okay. So, and I guess I'm assuming some of them already do it with their local broadcast partners and stuff like that. But I'm sure there's experience with, like, Inter Miami has experience with it with CBS4 for the local games, stuff like that. And they'll probably end up just hiring people, for hiring people away. But MLS has to pay for has to create this stuff. And so some of that $2.5 billion is going right back into investing into the actual production of this whole thing that they have to pay for.
So those $8 million to each team a year seems like it's going to be maybe $5 million.
Maybe. But this is also good for it is good for the players. So the cap does go up. It's part of the contract that the players sign with their new deal that they signed, and that they get more general allocation money. So it's not so much TAM money; it's general allocation money for each team, so that it can go across all players, and so that it will bleed down. It might take a little while, and it's not going to necessarily just bump this team up to now EPL standards, right? It's not opening the checkbook. I mean, it's incremental, right? It's small. Kata, we were asking if this is a good deal. Kata says, as long as it's reasonably priced, I'm good. I have Paramount, Netflix, Disney bundle. I can add this for the right price. Agreed. I have all those as well. The one of those that I question the most lately is Netflix. There's so rarely anything on Netflix nowadays that I like. I did watch Stranger Things, but other than that, there's not as much Netflix stuff that I want to see.
They're starting to slow down on their stuff, so that's kind of concerning for them if they want to keep up with everything else. That maybe they needed a sports section as well, but Apple's on top of that. What else?
There's with Netflix though. There's been rumors for years that Apple would buy Netflix. There's that rumor popping around everywhere that Apple should just buy Netflix, but they're showing that they don't really need to. They'll just do their own thing, and it'll be as successful as they want it to be. The problem with I think Apple's TV shows is I think they try to be too artsy. Like they're like high quality shows, but a lot of them are just boring. It's like even the show Foundation. I'm a sci-fi nut. I watched it. It was a little boring, but I watched it anyways.
I liked it.
It was all right.
And I think it was boring.
I read the books.
I think the whole idea of... Oh, gotcha. But, yeah, man, that's the thing. Everything's going to be all these different apps, and that was, I think it was Carter, the one that you just put up earlier. He's got all those different apps.
Yep.
How many apps can we have? After and stop. We might have to do what you do. Just cancel, get
it for when you need
at the
it.
moment,
and
rotate like that.
Here's the thing, though. Right now, I find it sometimes confusing as to where I'm going to watch my MLS game. Is the game on ESPN? Do I need to now update a subscription? If it's not on ESPN, okay. Is it on local TV? No problem. I have the rabbit ear type situation. I can do that. But where do I go? Or is it on Fox? Because then I have another subscription issue because I don't have that either. And so then I have to go turn something. Or is it on Univision, where I can, as a gringo, I can watch it through, get the English feed on Twitter and broadcast that to my TV. But the point is, where do I go?
Right.
Every week it's someplace different. This is going to be one location that
it's hard to keep up.
It'll be a lot easier now because you just go to this one location and you will find all your all your Inter Miami games, but all your MLS games, and also Leagues Cup games, also MLS Next Pro games. I don't know if they're gonna have all the games. It said something about select games, but so you're gonna get all your MLS related stuff. The Leagues Cup is gonna be fun, right? So Univision apparently is still interested in that. So Jet Pancake writes.
No, that's a good thing.
Jet Pancake says, I don't like the deal for that reason. It limits the growth for the league, shuts down many ways to watch the game. I think we just kind of, to me, the many ways can be confusing. But the growth is something that people talk about. And just to talk about that, average TV viewing on ESPN is 292,500 viewers for its 22 MLS broadcasts, 2022 games this year. Their full season average in 2021 was 273,300. Who are they losing? Those are horrible TV numbers. Who are they losing? How is that hurting the growth? It's not growing on ESPN. It's dying on ESPN. So in ESPN, I think it was in another tab that I have open somewhere, but ESPN has, I think, around 2.3 million subscribers, and Apple TV has 2.5. Apple TV has more subscribers than ESPN, according to what I was reading. Trying to find where that article. I've read too many darn articles, and I have a bunch of tabs open. But
ain't that something? Well, definitely. If that's where it'll be, like you said, easier for us to find the games. I already subscribe to Apple TV, so I'll be okay with it. Hopefully, even for the people that aren't season ticket holders, you won't have to pay that much more. Hopefully, it'll be included, like the baseball games or whatever, or at least they'll give you like some games, like the baseball games, and if you want all of them, you can subscribe or whatever. But I think that's a lot of money, man. That's going to the teams. That's going to Major League Soccer, and if I think positive in this sense, Peter. I think it's going to be good for the league, and Apple's constantly updating. They're always on top of technology. You love them, so
I am. Yes, I should have started the show. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible just because I'm going off of what I'm reading. I've read several articles on The Athletic, which is a great resource, and in other websites as well. I've tried to be as unbiased as I possibly can, but I'm an Apple lover. I mean, there's no question around it. Where's my stickers? I got my Apple stickers right here. Put it right here in my hat. I'm all
not over Inter Miami.
No, put it on the side. I'm all in. But here, Kata brings up an interesting point. The only negative, if it's league produced, is too many biased MLS takes like MLS YouTube, scared to criticize a player or a team. I think the guys on the MLS YouTube do a decent job of criticizing, but I get your point. They're not going to go too far. They're not going to go too deep. They're all going to be homers. And so they have to definitely give them a little bit of more freedom to criticize for sure. That is legit. Matt Z brings up another good point. Is case in point yesterday, the Timbers game was not on TV for the first 16 minutes because of a college baseball game. ESPN wanted you to go to an app. Right. So you're not going to get bumped. You're not going to... Sometimes I remember there's been occasions where there's like women's volleyball, and I'm like, come on. I mean, sure, they're fun to look at, but I don't care about volleyball. I'm here to watch the soccer game. Where is it? And now I got to either go to an app, and I want to watch it on my big TV. I don't want to watch it on an app. So I don't think it hurts the growth. Another conversation is that it hurts bars, local bars that may be a little bit behind the times and don't do streaming services. I think most of your bars nowadays have internet capabilities, things like that. We've gone to bars and we said, can we connect something, and we've done it, right, as supporters clubs.
Yeah.
So I think for the most part they'll be in on it. And
I think they'll do it.
And won't have a problem. Sure, it's a little harder to flip around, but if they're interested in being a soccer bar, they're going to be on board. So, all right.
So, well, I didn't realize. In conclusion, Peter Brown.
Yeah. In conclusion, I just
realized positive.
It's 8:01. In conclusion, I think it's a great deal, and I could talk about this for hours because I just find this kind of thing super, super interesting. I like how the business side of things ends up, and it ends up being $300 million a year. That's what it ends up being.
So okay, well, so Peter Brown's saying you should do it, guys. I'm also positive about it. So let's see how it goes. I think 10 years is a long time, but it's I think it's the future. Everybody's gonna do it.
Well, yeah, and that was actually one of the things you said. 10 years is a long time. That was one of the comments, is that it is a long deal, and while it sounds great right now, $2.5 billion sounds great. 10 years, that's going to sound like nothing. And so, yeah. But you got to make the move, and MLS is not really in a position of power. They're not bringing in the numbers. They found
it is up and coming. It is up and coming, but yeah.
And to think about that, it's up and coming. I think what they're trying to do is, I think they're seeing that the Apple demographic, I think they probably looked at it and it says it lines up with the hipster kind of young MLS demographic, this up and coming MLS audience that's growing up with their phones in their hands and stuff like that. I think that and Apple is considered a prestige brand. Some people don't have it because it costs too much money. Everything in Apple is way overpriced. You get good stuff, but it costs way too much money. We can all agree with that. I mean, I love to get the Apple stuff. And somebody asked, do I have Apple everything? Yes. But I wish it was cheaper.
Even in his fridge. Apples.
Apples. I got apples. I got every kind of apple you can think of. So, hey, I don't know if you want to do this or you want to go, but Kata's saying thoughts on new Obi-Wan, please.
Let's do it. Peter, did you actually watch the new Obi-Wan?
And so I had Ed and Eric bugging me all week, and I was very, very busy. Just to give you an idea, I was walking about 10 to 13 miles.
Spoiler alert.
I was walking like 10 to 13 miles every day. I was busy. I didn't have time to watch it, but I watched it on the flight back home last night. Yes, I don't know if we need to go into big spoilers. I don't think we're going to go another 10, 15 minutes or anything.
Did you do one of these?
It was a great episode. Loved the episode. Mm-hmm. It was so well done. Everything from, and some of it was exactly what people were talking about. Oh, I guess there will be spoilers. So spoilers, leave if you don't want to hear it. The fact that the Grand Inquisitor girl, everybody kind of thought that she was one of the younglings, and she in fact was. That was really cool. And I also like just the way they filmed it, the way they kept going back to this battle with Anakin and Obi-Wan back when, you know, they were Padawan and Master. And then they cut back to the scenes, how they kind of parallel. And I thought it was just really, really well done.
It was, man. It was when I saw that episode, and I was like, and you told me you hadn't watched it. I was like, Peter, but it's like the best episode, and it was really hard for. I know it was the same thing for Eric, who's in that chat with us.
Hard not to talk about
not being able, not to say anything, and I was like, he watched it, I watched it. I didn't even send him a message just between us. We just waited, you know, because we're good guys. I didn't want to ruin. We wanted to include you in the conversation because it was just that good. And you know, when Darth Vader just pulled that shuttle down, that was awesome.
Badass. That was bad, but that was so cool too. Is like that, you know, the whole decoy thing. And there was another scene, but when he's walking, they're like, "Hey, time's up."
That's all. Hey, dude.
When he's walking down that hallway and he's basically going into an empty room and then he sees the ship taking off, I just felt like that's Empire Strikes Back all over again. So when he goes to Hoth and he walks in to the ice tunnels and everything, and they just kind of are gone, right? It's just like same thing keeps happening. Vader just shows up 1 minute too late.
And they're gone. That was pretty cool. But if you think about it, you know, there's little inconsistencies because, you know, the dude's strong as heck. Yeah, the guy, you know, he probably would have been able to catch him too because they kind of paused a little bit too long. And Reva was dumb for not attacking him when she had the chance. Reva could have attacked him when he was busy bringing that ship down.
Anu says,
and that would have been...
Anu says, check the Forced Unleashed video game. Like, I've not played that video game, but I've seen enough clips to where, I know that's like a scene in the video game that they totally ripped off, which is really cool. And that's right. I think that kind of thing is rewarding to fans because there's tons of Star Wars fans that are big gamers. So I think that scene is rewarding to those people. So I think that's cool. So anyways, I'm excited for the last episode. I thought it was great. It's going to end, and I feel like I'm going to want more, but you can't get more of that show. You really can't because it's going to probably lead right into A New Hope. You know, we know
they're talking about a second season, man.
Well, I guess it all. Yeah, I know that. I know that the actor said he's open to it, but I don't know. I guess we have to find out like how close are they leading this up? Well, no, they're still kids, so there's still about 10 years to work with because they're still like what 7 or 8 year old kids, and in A New Hope,
still a lot of material there, Peter Brown.
I think Luke here is
nice.
I think Luke here is 18 in A New Hope.
I just handed a drink.
Yeah.
Andres. Hey, Andres, say hello. Look, he's wearing his Inter Miami hat. There you go. Hello, my son-in-law.
Hey.
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
He brought me a drink. He brought me a drink. I have no idea what it is. Rum, probably. I don't know.
Uh-oh. Leia is the new Grogu in this show, nice. Kata says. So, anyways.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to drag this on too long. But it was great. Why Anu is saying he thinks the next episode is in 90 minutes. Yeah. Well, but in that episode, they're not going to necessarily go 10 years. So I guess there's potential for another season. It just depends on where they leave it, right?
There's potential, Peter Brown. So don't knock it, man. Don't knock it.
It was great.
I'd be happy for a second season.
It was great. But
I think there's so much story still to be told.
Sure.
So I wouldn't mind a second season.
Yeah. I mean, Vader is a much better fighter in this TV series than he was in the actual original movies.
And Peter, the show is kind of more about Darth Vader. Yes, they're following everything that, Obi-Wan's been doing or whatever, but it's I think the main, lately, at least the last couple of episodes has been kind of concentrated on Anakin, or Darth Vader.
Yeah, well, they brought him back. Saying. They got the first few episodes. You barely saw him, so it makes sense. They brought him back. They got to show him.
So, guys, let us know if you guys like our Geek Talk. We could always do a separate show on this if Peter's got the time.
I usually have the time. I think it's more of, do you have the time? You have a tougher schedule.
I think we could squeeze something through.
But
yeah, if you guys
something
like this
Ed has been bugging us about doing a geek show for a long time and maybe doing it on this channel. I know we've talked about it a little bit,
We might have to add a third wheel. We used to have Ricky before. I didn't mention Ricky's going to move to Charlotte, man.
Yeah, you told me that. That's good.
So he's going to probably cheat on Inter Miami, but we might have to bring a third wheel. I'm thinking maybe. We'll see. We'll see what Peter Brown says, and if we want to do some more content.
Yeah, exactly. And where does it make sense? But like we talked about this a little bit. He's saying all the nerd
Stranger
stuff.
Things.
All the nerd stuff.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll just call it the FMTV Nerd Show or something.
Why not? All right, everybody. We're rambling on, doing a show prep now on the air. So why not? Oh damn! Anu cutting at the end. Anu says it's something to talk about to ease your pain over a loss.
He was being too quiet, man. He was being too quiet.
Anu, cut us.
Congrats on the win, dude.
Cuts us at the end of the episode here.
Take it out, Peter. Damn. Take it out.
All right. On that note, we're out of here. I'm done with him. Bye, Anu. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We will see you next week. And if you want to see a nerd show, let us know in the comments, because I know I do get some comments that do not like this talk. But if we do it in its own separate weeknight show, maybe you're interested in that. Let us know in the comments if that's something you want us to do. And make sure you go to Caneswear and tell them that we sent you, and you can get a nice discount. See you later, everybody. Thanks.